Hello. I wanted to talk to you today about using the dream arc and considering all the animals and creatures that aren't in this particular dream arc codex. So obviously here we have 192 approximately, exactly creatures, right? So there are a lot more creatures that aren't included in this codex and in this process and this program. And so I want to kind of put your mind and heart at ease to say this isn't a definitive, fixed, dogmatic thing. The codex is endless. All creatures belong in the codex, but obviously it wouldn't be practical to put them all in. But that's what you're here for. So if you are attracted or drawn to a creature that's not in the codex, then it's a whole journey in itself for you. It isn't outside the codex, but you are going to be tasked with where might it fit in the codex? And you don't have to kind of make a perfect fit, but it's a journey. It's a contemplative journey. You might ask yourself, is there a similar creature, that I can think of in the codex? And then look at that and see, well, I wonder if there's any similarity. And some of the more obscure creatures don't really have mythologies with them, but they do have, you can learn a lot about them and their behavior and their habitat. And so it's through those things that you really learn, well, what's its real meaning and purpose, and why has it come to me, and why am I attracted to it? So learn about its behavior and its habitat and, its patterns of, and where it comes from, and think about, which level it's on. Is it a bird? Is it going to bring you a vision? Is it a mammal? Is it going to bring you empowerment? Is it an underworld creature? Is it going to help you move through a fear? And what might that fear be? Also, what category might it belong in? Let's take an example of a creature not in the codex. The platypus. I love platypus. It's a mad creature. The platypus, what category do you think it might be? I might hazard a guess and say, well, I think it's a laugher. It's one of the laughers. It's also a mammal. So it has a life key. What might its life key be? And maybe invent one for yourself. What's its life key? A platypus, it might be something to do with finding the harmony in diversity, because it's like so many creatures stuck together. But fused perfectly in some harmony, So interesting to consider these things, You don't have to try and fit it into the codex exactly, but it's nice to kind of get an idea of which the category is. Another example might be the panda, panda bear. That's not in the codex, but consider it's a kind of bear. Bear is in the codex. But then if you read up on bear, it doesn't quite perfectly fit panda, perhaps, because we think of like grizzly bear or black bear, and there are also all kinds of different variations of bear, as there are snake, as there are many of these things, So it's not a cut and dry system. Don't make it into a dogma. Find your own magical way into these keys. What category might it be in? The panda, what it might be in. Might be a unifiers, perhaps. The pandas become the symbol of the World Wildlife Fund, of protecting of unifying our views, and so there's lots of ways that you can use the symbology of creatures to understand more about them. And also another question I want to bring up for you is if you feel that one of the creatures in the codex also belongs in another category, or for you it lives in a better category, it suits you, so you might take like a polar bear, right? Polar bear is in the dreamer category, but also polar bear is like one of the most extraordinary hunters on the planet, so you might say it's a hunter, but it might also be a unifier, and they all cross over each other. So again, let's not get caught in too many kind of mental miasmas. Let's allow our minds to be open. This is a journey of, inspiration and creativity. So feel free to break the rules. There aren't any rules, in fact, but feel free, if there were, to break them and to bend them and to twist them and to shape them. Your imagination is so powerful. The codex is not a fixed thing. It mustn't become a dogma. It just provides enough structure so that we can play this game. And there are even mythic creatures, which I talk about in other places here, and you might consider how they, fit in and what their true meanings are for you. So lots of things to consider. I want you to have inside yourself in this journey that freedom to challenge things, to open things, to look at things in new ways, if this journey does only that it gives you the kind of personal empowerment to go, well, I don't agree with that. Actually, I feel that there's more about this, then fantastic. I am not a kind of guru, and we are not trying to kind of lay down certainties here. It's an exploration of the power of the imagination, of play, and it should be fun, and it should be hopefully profound as well, and a journey. So have fun and be playful, and open yourself to all creatures, so that they can all come and play in this dream arc, because they all live in the dream arc. The dream arc is everything. Okay, hopefully that gives you permission to have a lot of fun.